For today's video, I'll be talking about a specific theropod that lives in this region in my world, the ashy beaches. The theropod is the Ourasvrontis. It is a large omnivorous theropod covered in hard osteoderms composed of a mix of keratin and small plates of azure minerals. These minerals contribute to its resistance. Its skin is a bluish gray, being white on the underside. It has a thick head and a club on its tail, which it uses for attack. It also has these back-facing horns at the end of its head, which are vestigial, they don't serve a purpose, and it has a beak, which is really useful for breaking hard shells from fruits. The most interesting thing about this theropod isn't actually something we can see, but it's something, it's more of an ability it has. It has electrical organs that goes from the back of its head to all the way to the end of the tail. Its electrical organs are used for various purposes, but are mostly used in defense and attack too. The voltage in the head and back are not very high, but the voltage of those organs get higher as it goes throughout the back, being the highest right at the tail. To support such a strong body and those electrical organs, a lot of energy is required. That's why this omnivorous theropod is pretty much always seen eating something. It has a really rich diet since it is an omnivore like I said before. So it eats hard-shell fruits and other plants, these giant insects called termite beetles, minerals though not directly, and dead flesh though not directly, aka carcasses. It is not a predator, so it doesn't really hunt animals. Though it eats meat, it usually just eats dead animals. But it's not very common to see it consuming dead animals, since most of its diet consists in plants, fruits, and the termite beetles, and the minerals, which are not consumed directly, it consumes it on accident. It consumes those minerals when it is destroying the termite beetle mounds. These mounds are colossal, and these beetles, they tend to use minerals to build their mounds. As Ourasvrontis is destroying mounds to consume the insects, it accidentally swallows some of the pieces of the mound. For an insect, these beetles are enormous. They can be the size of a golden retriever and are really nutritious for the dinosaur. These beetles are also frequently working and they reproduce really quickly. A single queen can lay up to 10,000 eggs per day. That is the reason these insects aren't extinct, despite this giant theropod eating tons of them every few weeks. Like I said before, they also eat hard-shell fruits similar to coconuts that are right on top of trees. And to get those fruits, since they cannot climb, they hit their head against the trunk, which may cause it to fall. Though their head is thick and very adapted to impacts, its neck is not very adapted to that. That is why it uses its electrical organs to send charges through its neck muscles, which harden the muscles for a few seconds. But doing this very frequently can actually cause tissue damage. That is why individuals who already damaged their tissues due to doing this frequently will use their tail club, or smarter individuals. But such damage doesn't stay for very long. Since this creature has a strong immune system, it can heal really quickly. Some may think because this dinosaur has such a strong and thick head, it is not very intelligent because there will not be enough space for the brain. But actually, it is a quite intelligent theropod. You see, while its head is thick, its skull is really wide. So there is enough space for a protective layer that allows for the layer of hard keratin and enough space for the brain. As you can also see on the image, it explains how the keratin and the azure minerals are accumulated on its head. The keratin is like, it kind of surrounds the azure minerals. So that's basically how it works. Those are really tiny. You will only notice if you look at really closely, because it usually just looks like a big blue layer. This dinosaur can lay up to 15 eggs at a time, and they grow up really quickly, but until then they have to be near their mom since they live in a really dangerous environment. They're born really small too. After a few weeks they're about the size of a golden retriever, and after 4 months they're a little bit larger than a human. But since the environment they live in is really dangerous, they will stay near the mom until they're able to live by themselves. An Ourasvrontis chick, when they're born, they have no armor plates like their parents. These armor plates start to grow when they're about a year old. But their skin isn't exactly soft. They have a very hard skin for a chick. But they don't have enough protection to survive by themselves. That's why they stay with the mom. Now let's go into Ourasvrontis' most terrifying ability. Like I've mentioned before, this dinosaur has electrical organs, which go from behind their neck all the way to the end of their tail. But I also mentioned that these organs are usually not very strong behind the neck and on the back. But from their butt, guys, sorry, I had to say butt, like this region, what the hell am I supposed to call this with professional language? Anyways, from their butt to the end of their tail, these organs become really powerful. These regions are also really resistant because they have to withstand their own energy, and the electrical charges it creates are visible, like almost like lightning. And this dinosaur obviously used this to scare off predators, especially the region's apex predator, the giant hyena, the world's largest hyena called Diablo curcuta. Now I just wanted to say a few last things about this dinosaur. They don't really have much sexual dimorphism. The females are usually a little bit larger than males, but overall they kind of look the same. And they're also solitary animals, though in rare occasions you can see some of them together. It's very rare, they usually live alone, especially the males. Hello guys, I hope you all liked the video. It was an interesting video, it was really fun to edit it. And I really like ecology videos like this. I tend to watch a lot of ecology videos on fictional monsters, especially those in Monster Hunter. But I also watch original works. For example, I'm not sure if I can mention this, I'm not sure if it infringes copyright, but the Dragon Slayer Codex. Though I didn't read everything, I do like to watch some of his content. It's really cool. And anyways, I hope you all liked this video. I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed to my channel, and maybe share my video with others. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. By the way, I wanted to mention, I am not a science expert, okay? So I am 99% sure I said a lot of crap in this video. Because, brother, I don't want to be a scientist. Like, my channel isn't a science channel. I'm more focused right now in creature designing and pseudo fantasy, because my world doesn't really have magic. It's more of extreme biology. And I just used some professional words while I was recording my voice for the video. Brother, I'm pretty sure I said a lot of things wrong, so no, don't worry, I know that.